Hey, what's up, everyone? It is your boy Doug from SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, back at it again with the third episode of Doug's K-pop collection. Today we're going to be talking photo cards, and then I'm going to be showing you guys at home my photo card collection. But before we get into that, let's go through some background info. Alright, first of all, this is going to be a K-pop photo card video, but I am by no means a photo card collector. Now, what I mean by that is, I personally do not go on sites like eBay and Instagram and search for specific photo cards or buy them. In my entire K-pop career, which spans about 10 to 12 years, I've only bought photo cards twice, and they were both in order to buy some of the twice pre-order sets that I didn't have, because I bought a couple albums that didn't come with them and I just wanted to have all of them. Other than that though, all of the photo cards you're going to be seeing today are just from the years of album collecting that I've done over the years, and I'll give myself the title album collector because I think that's pretty fair. Second of all, I'm going to be talking about how I store my photo cards. So right here in front of me, you see the super exclusive Michigan 3-ring binder. No, it's nothing special. It's just a standard 3-ring binder that you could find at any office supply stores. This is a 1-inch one, but you could buy 1-inch, 2-inch, probably 5-inch, whatever you need and whatever suits your needs. Alright, but in terms of the sheets I use, so right here, these are the Ultra Pro Platinum Series sheets. Now, from the research I've done, this seems to be the standard that most people use in order to store their photo cards, and I guess the main enemies you're talking about are dust and light. But I also went ahead and bought some of these. It's also from the Ultra Pro Platinum series, but these are the horizontal orientation ones. So this is better for like a horizontal group shot of your favorite group. The last thing I'm going to suggest right here are I know it's a little weird, you got a lot of Japanese on this, maybe a little bit confusing, but all these are perfect barrier card sleeves. So these are individual sleeves for each of your cards, and as a tip from your boy Doug, I suggest you put your cards in from the bottom and then put them into the sheets in order to get maximum protection. Lastly, I just want to say that there is literally no standardization with photo cards, meaning that if you get a twice pre-order album, you might end up with like 15 photo cards, but you might buy another group's album and end up with absolutely 0 photo cards. So it really just comes down to the distribution and the company that's producing the albums, and unless you see online beforehand what you're gonna get, you really don't know how many photo cards you're gonna get. But that wraps up the introduction of this. Now let's get into my photo card collection. Alright, let's get it. So the entire first section, the first half of my collection is going to be all Twice. I think that Twice and JYP do the best out of all the girl groups that I've opened albums for of giving the fans photo cards, because starting with this album, which is Twice Coaster Lane 1, which is their third release, they began to give out pre-order photo card sets. And by that I mean, if you ordered the album beforehand, you got a set of all 9 members, so you got one for each member, and sometimes you even got a 10th photo card which had the group of all, so it had all 9 members. And this was even before you actually physically opened the album. So that means that even if you don't get your bias when you open the album, you at least get at least one of your bias, and you get one for each member. So I think that's incredibly cool. But yeah, this is from Twice Coaster Lane 1. And please feel free at home to pause this video at any point if you want to see any of the photo cards in more detail. But now let's move on. So this is the photo card, the pre-order set from Lane 2. So this is Twice Coaster Lane 2. Another thing I want to point out is that I really do suggest you use these type of sheets where you can see the front and the back, because there are binders where you could only see the front, and I think sometimes you're going to miss out on a lot of cool stuff. But once again, this is the pre-order set from Twice Coaster Lane 2. And just like that, on the back of the Lane 2 photo cards, we had signatures that you would miss out on. So right here, we got the pre-order set from Signal. We got the Twice-togram. Right here, we got Merry and Happy. So this photo card set right here is from What Is Love. I think it's really cool that they made well, in order to say why these are different colors, let me point out that Twice always puts their pre-order sets in age order. So Nayeon will be first and Joey will be last, and you can see that it is fairly consistent. So right here, they put the 3 oldest in purple, and they put the last 3 in like a teal. So that is What Is Love. And then right here, we got Summer Nights. And then right here, we got yes or yes. Personally, this is my favorite pre-order set. I think this is the nicest. I really like they kind of have like a Polaroid thing going on. And I'm pretty sure around this point, they started to release multiple photo card sets for each of the versions of the album. Personally, I only buy one of each album, so you will only see one type for each of the releases. But this is yes or yes, my personal favorite. And then next we got the special album, The Year of Yes. I always confuse that by saying Year of Twice, but this is Year of Yes. And now we are into 2019. We got Fancy You. And then finally, the last Twice pre-order set we got is Feel Special. So that wraps up all the Twice pre-order sets. I am going to continue to collect them once Twice releases more music in Korea. So the next section of my photo card collection is going to be more Twice, but this time it's going to be just an assortment from all of the actual albums themselves. So on each page, you're going to be seeing like various photo cards from different albums, but just know that it is in chronological order. So this is the first album and it's just gonna go like that. Now, one interesting thing I want to point out is they sometimes have these special ones, like right here you see the reflector nyan, or this one which kind of like comes in and out when you move it. For some reason, like I mentioned last video, I get nyan in extreme amounts. Now, I don't know if they're rigging these, but at the same time, when there's special stuff, I'm like 50% likely to get nyan. I know it's not 50%, but it feels like it. And I also want to point out here, so this Geo card is technically a message card. See right here, it says 2. You could write something on the back. Some people debate if these are photo cards or not. I like to include them because they're about the same size, although the backs aren't as interesting. But we will continue. See, nyan again on a special one. But I also really like this Jewy one for Signal. Okay. See, yeah, another message card here with, ironically, another Geo one. And now we're into like What Is Love over here. Summer Nights about here. And then this one right here came with like this red filter that you could put over it to see that. And what you see here is a penguin, so I'm assuming it's a Mina card. Yeah. And over here we have, I believe, some Yes or Yes, and we also have some The Year of Yes. So I really like the backs of these ones. And now we're clearly in Fancy. This one, the Jungyeon one, it's really thin for some reason, but it is a little bit reflective with the gold border. And then lastly, some Feel Special ones, including that one over there. The next page right here is the Twice horizontal ones. So yeah, these are the horizontal sheets that I talked about in the intro of the video right here. So they don't fit as well because obviously 8 photo cards versus 9. But at the same time, I think it looks a lot better like this than having them the other way. But that concludes the Twice section of my photo card collection. All right, now we are into IZ*ONE, which is my ultimate group. So as you can see, we got Wonyoung, Yoojin, Haewon, Chaewon, who's one of my favorites. And then we got some group shots. So this one is not there, so it's on the other page. But as you can see, I have 4 singles and 4 groups. So in this album, which I believe is the Colorize album, they gave you 1 individual and then 1 group. And right here, you see I have a double of Haewon and Eunbi. This is the only duplicate I have in my entire collection. Yeah, and this one, they have like written messages and they have the signatures. I think this one's pretty cool. Next, we have Heart Is. So right here, they also had 2 types of albums, and then that's why you see different styles. But this one right here, so this is, I wouldn't call it the rarest, but this is from the M-Wave signing meet and greet that they did. And what happened there was they have a live stream where they do a meet and greet, and then while they're doing it, they randomly pick, so 1 out of every 7 people gets a specific M-Wave photo card, and I was lucky enough to win it. But that wraps up the IZ*ONE collection. Hopefully we could get the Bloomiz and the Fiesta photo cards in the future, but that would be number 1 if that ever drops, which it seems like they will now, but also in the future when I update this video. Alright, next we're kind of in just the general assortment. We got my ultimate bias IU over here. We got Taeyeon, Hasa. Hopefully Hasa's doing better, and because she's missing the hashtag era, pretty sad. But one thing right here, you see a whole line of Chungha. So this one is from the Snapping album, but the other two are from IOI. So I must have got really lucky to pull Chungha both of those times while she was in IOI. And then on the bottom, we got some ITZY with Yuna, Leah, and Chaeryeong. Alright, next we got a bunch of Red Velvet and Blackpink. So we got Wendy. I hope she's doing better too. Y'all know that she fell during the end of the year show. And then right here we got this Joy one, which is a bit of a see-through one. And then we got the Irene and Sugi message cards. Also shout out to Jisoo and Lisa, because Blackpink, I know it's not their fault, but they don't got that many releases. Oh, one other thing before I switch the page. Chungha switched her signature in between IOI and Flourishing. Well, not Flourishing, her solo career and the album Flourishing. So that's something I just noticed. Alright, so I think this is the last page of Assorted. Yep, so we got Bona, Yeoreum, Sorn, Anjiyoung and Bolpaga Sachugi, Jimin from AOA, Yuju, K, and Baby Soul right here. Alright, and then lastly, we got some horizontal ones. This one right here. If I'm gonna complain about anything, it's that G-Idol, although I love G-Idol, hopefully I can go to their world tour. For some reason, this photo card is monstrous. Now I'm lucky this is sort of a horizontal, maybe it's not supposed to be, but it barely fits in here. So if you're starting your collection with just G-Idol, good luck, because it's a very weird and awkward size. But on the last page of my collection, what I have is what I'm calling like the legend tier. So these are groups that aren't really promoting anymore. So I have two from Sunny, one of them's from Mr. Taxi, and one of them's from O. And then for some reason in the Wonder Girls album, they gave you like pretty much an entire set. But the weird thing is that you see how these three have red. They put the other red ones on the back of the red one, so you can't really show all red or all white. So that's a thing. But I mean, this pretty much wraps up my photo card collection, and I don't know, it's a good hobby. At the same time, I'm not willing to spend like tons of money on just technically cardboard that's printed on. But it's a fun hobby. If that's what you like to do, yeah, no, I completely understand that. That's your hustle. But for me, I'm more or less just going to collect them as I get the album. But this has been Doug from SojuTalk Kpop Podcast. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our podcast SojuTalk here on YouTube and on most podcast platforms. I'll see you next time. Bye!